Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to the Silver 5150 channel. Quite possibly the most boring channel on YouTube. But that's okay. We have nice, shiny things to look at while we listen to me drone on and on about how awesome they are. One of the things I always go into is about benevolence, about being generous, with your assets and being generous with, any available monies you have. You can go out and have fun with friends. I intentionally keep a high-low mix of friends. I have some that are very low income, but they're still great people. It doesn't change who they are. They just don't have access to a lot of things. And what I try to do is I try to give them access to things. I have a friend that I take to the movies a lot. And when we go to the movies, we don't mess around. We go to the big screen, then we go to the big theater, and we get all the concessions and all that stuff. And it may be like a $70 fare or something, but it's something that my friend would never get to do on his own. He doesn't have the income for it. And then, of course, people that I'm close to, I have a lot of friends that also have jobs, and so it's kind of like a back and forth between us, going out and hanging out together, or maybe going to a movie, or maybe going to the fair or something like that, and that works out really well. And of course, there's always members of the family and stuff you can do stuff with. My investment group that I invest with, we do a lot of silver and we do some other stuff. These guys throw money around like pro ball players. I'm amazed at the amount of fiat cash that just goes flying, into the night as we just have a high old time. King Henry VIII would be jealous. My boys, they don't hold back. Our investment group, man, we know how to live large. We know how to save large and invest large. And that's the whole thing. The thing is to find out, what you can get away with. If you can live wide open, from time to time, you do that. If you can save wide open from time to time, I do a lot of that. But the idea is to try to have fun along the way and prepare to have a lot more fun later. I have a bunch of bucket list items, I want to do. And I think about those things. And most of them I actually don't want to do by myself. I want to do those things with people that I like being with and people I like caring about, and still continue to do random acts of kindness to strangers, and be benevolent to kids that I feel connected to, and gift from time to time. Guys, it feels good to give. It feels good to give, and here you are with the ability to make an investment that allows you to be benevolent. It allows you to give something of very good value and pretty high quality to people that you care about, and something that's actually going to help them tremendously later on. They don't know. A lot of people that I give silver to, they don't know why I gave it to them, and they don't know what they're going to be able to do when things turn around and start, acting kind of weird in the financial world. They're going to be able to utilize, any hard assets that they have, and of course, anything I gave them to basically survive that period. But of course, if they take my advice and they start to actually invest actively in this asset, silver, or maybe even gold, there's some small gold increments. And I might actually do some gold tonight. They'll be in much better shape than say the average person that is invested entirely in paper assets. So real quick, before we move on to the next roll, these are the Morgan rounds, and the Morgan rounds are basically the coin of the, I guess, the 1800s. It was like the silver coin of the 1800s. Now this is a copy. This is a round that is not an actual coin, because the Morgans that I was talking about earlier, they were actually coins out of the U.S. Mint, and they were meant for people to use. And you had your Morgan, and you go into a bar. There was a saloon. You get your beer and you get your steak, and maybe have money for a little poker and stuff when you're done, and that's how that rolled. The lovely lady on here reminds me of a quick story. I'd gotten together with my niece, who she wasn't really estranged, but we hadn't seen each other in a long time, and so we got to visit and stuff. And I remember one of the highlights of this year being just having a nice, quiet lunch with her in the afternoon. And it was one of those things to where I had made sure I had a good budget in place, and we were able to just enjoy the venue and the lunch and the company, and everything was, it's one of the best days of my life. And we gave no care to the cost. I gave no care to the cost, because to me it wasn't about the cost at that time, it was about the moment. And I guess that's what it comes down to. I'm collecting these coins to create more moments down the road. All right, I'm going to quit with that one. I'm going to go on to the next roll, But as always, for those of you that are tuning in, if you like this kind of content, please continue to watch, share, and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you want, and comment. So I always appreciate that stuff, and we will see you in the next video. Silver5150 here, signing out, and we'll catch you in a bit.